This is a tutorial on how to select your STAR-LRP discipline and specialty. Once the user has completed their personal information screen, the next screen they'll be taken to is the professional information screen. From here, the first card I will see is the discipline and specialty card. Initially, I will only see one drop-down menu, the discipline menu, on this card. From the discipline menu, I will make a selection. If I were to select an allopathic physician, for example, I will see a scenario in which a secondary drop menu appears. This is the specialty menu. Not all STAR-LRP disciplines have related specialties for selection. In this case, the allopathic physician does require a specialty designation. So to do that, I will also select my relevant specialty from this second drop-down menu. If I do select a discipline that does not have associated specialties, for example, the licensed professional counselor, I will only see the discipline menu and I will not see a secondary menu appear. This does not mean that the applicant needs to make a specialty selection. They are satisfying the requirement of the discipline and specialty card simply by selecting their discipline. If a secondary menu is populated, the user is required to make a selection. There are two other scenarios for the discipline and specialty card, which I will display now. If I were to select the clinical support professional discipline, I will see a secondary menu pop up once again. This menu is titled Clinical Support Professionals. From here, I need to make another designation. I need to choose which clinical support professional type I most associate with. Similarly, if I were to select the behavioral health paraprofessional from the discipline dropdown, I will see a behavioral health paraprofessional secondary menu. Just like with clinical support professionals, I will again be required to select which discipline type I most align with. Additionally, you will see a tooltip for the behavioral health paraprofessionals to further define from the STAR-LRP policy perspective what a behavioral health paraprofessional means from the employment information perspective. Once I've made my appropriate discipline and specialty selections, I will click Continue and see the discipline training and certification card populated. This card and its content and questions are driven purely on the discipline and specialty selections in the card above. All questions that are populated as part of the discipline training and certification card will be required questions, with the exception of the alert text. Should at any point I change my selection on the discipline and specialty card, the card and its content will populate. Again, this discipline training and certification card is driven by my selections on the above discipline and specialty card. All content is related to the discipline I select. At any point, I can change my selections and complete the discipline and training certification questions as they are refreshed. However, the one exception to this is when employment verification has been initiated. The system will not allow the discipline and specialty to be adjusted. Once I've made my appropriate selection, I will answer all relevant questions on the discipline training and certification card. Questions range from degree information, residency information, ability to practice without supervision, and so on. Okay, and once I've completed all relevant discipline training and certification questions, I will hit continue and be taken on to my next card.